want you guys to take out your PLDs and go to explorelearning.com. Log into your Gizmo account there. Actually, do you guys want to do lockers really quick? Can we do that at a different time?
No, we're supposed to stick with our plan.
Okay.
Because that's my classes are all.
Explorelearning.com. Your password should be saved, but if you've gotten a different password, you might need a little Jackson check with that. No. We're gonna do them after this still. There should be one assigned to you called seed germination. Seed germination. When you open it up, it should look something like this. Okay. The Gizmo warm-up says, seeds are only able to sprout or germinate under the right conditions. The seeds of different species and plants need different amounts of light, temperatures, and moisture levels in order to germinate successfully. In the seed germination gizmo, you'll perform a series of experiments to determine the best conditions for germinating 3 different types of seeds. So once you're into your gizmo, it should look like this. This is how it will automatically be set up. It should automatically have seed A selected up here, and that is what we want. Number 1 under the Gizmo warm-up says, look at the description tab. How many seeds are in the germination chamber? So up here, this is our description tab, right here. And it wants us to find out how many seeds are in the germination chamber. Can anybody tell me how I could figure that out? Maren, do you have an idea?
It says under seed status, the number of seeds is 100.
Yeah. So before we're starting our experiment, under seed status, we see there are number of seeds, number of sprouts here, okay? So a sprout is what we would call a germinated seed. What happens when it starts to grow, okay? So write the number of seeds that you have there. Number 2 says, click play and observe the simulation pane, which is this side. What happened over the simulated 5-day period? So you're going to hit play right here, and you're going to watch what happens and record your observations on letter A for number 2. Hit play and record what you see happening in here.
That's what should be your locker.
So what did you guys see? What did you notice? What did you notice? Bryson?
That all the 13 of them sprouted.
So you notice that not all of them sprouted? Yep. Did anybody notice anything else? This one kind of goes hand in hand with part B. What changed in the appearance of the seeds in here during your experiment? Yeah, Brody? Yeah, you can see these little yellow tails on them, green or yellow tails that show you that they sprouted, right? Lets you see which ones have sprouted and which ones are still seeds. based on which ones have these little sprouts on them. Okay, so that's B. That's what we observed in the simulation. Just like we did right away, we wanted to know how many seeds were in our chamber. We can look at our description tab to find out the answers for C and D. How many seeds sprouted and how many did not. Right? You can use this description tab, but I want to show you the other tabs that show that information as well. So let's look at our table. This is a more detailed way of finding out when they sprouted. So you can scroll down on this bar here, it'll give you in fractions of a day when your first seed sprout came. So you can see that my first sprout came at 1.45 days. And I had 3 of them that day. The next tab is our bar chart. Make sure that this box on your bar chart is checked. Show numerical values. That way you can see exactly where they're at. This is another way of finding out how many of your seeds sprouted and how many did not. Shows you right here that this is a sprout and this side is for seeds. The last one is a graph. This graph is a little bit challenging to interpret. Being able to communicate and understand the scientific data is really important. Okay, so let's give this table a shot. On the bottom we see time in days, and going up the side we see the numbers. Down here this tells us that the blue line is number of seeds, and the green line is number of sprouts. So you see as time goes on, the number of each changes. If you were a farmer, like you are, would you rather have these two meet and cross earlier or further away? Sooner or later? Yeah.
Later,
Later, why?
so that if some sprout, then the bugs don't get the ones that sprout, so then you can farm them all at once.
That's one idea. You would want them all to be ready to harvest all at once. Kale, what do you think?
I would think earlier so you can harvest faster and then you get that done so you can try to harvest more and repeat and get as much as you can before winter.
Yeah. So when you're looking at this, when they cross each other, that's the point when you finally have more sprouts than seeds. So you want to have more sprouts sooner, right? You want to have as many sprouts as you can. So if they cross sooner, by the end of this 5 days, you're going to have more sprouts, right? So this is another way that you can find out how many sprouts you have and how many seeds you have. Okay? Now you guys can flip over your lab packets to the first page of the lab, activity A. It says click reset. This is our reset button. Anytime you want to start back over or undo the trial, you hit that arrow button, okay? It says to click that. Now we're going to select our bar chart over here on your tabs. One question that they want you to keep in mind while you're going through activity A is, why is it important to repeat an experiment multiple times? What do you guys think? Yeah, Bryson.
To see if it's like accurate.
Yeah, the more information you have, the more accurate and dependable your results are, right? If you try food one time and decide you don't like it, maybe you just weren't in the mood for it that day. If you tried it 5 or 6 times, you have more information, you can better decide, yes, you do like it, or no, you really don't. More information gives you a better answer, a more accurate answer. Okay, now number 1 says, collect data. Each time you run an experiment with the gizmo, you complete a trial. A trial is a single time that you conduct your experiment. So basically every time you hit play, that is a trial. Make sure seed type A is selected, up here.